Just I guess how was this past winter like for you, and what's it like to be back out there for spring ball?
It's been a blessing to be with these guys again for another winter. I think what was that? My fifth, my fourth winter here with the team. So it's been cool to see guys, come and go and just continue to build relationships. It's a time that I can really invest into people and invest into building relationships with some of my teammates and so it was very meaningful for those 8 weeks to be back here for a fourth year.
How's it been building that new relationship with Coach Keaton?
Yeah, it's been great. Super high energy guy. I've really enjoyed being in there with the meeting room. Talking X's and O's with him, but just personal life as well. He's made a big impact on me so far in the couple months he's been here.
Yeah, Coach Megan mentioned that he saw a lot of Keaton and you, like you guys shared a lot of the same like trials and tribulations, just adversity you've been through. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I've been able to discuss a little bit about how his career was when he was at Utah State. I definitely do see some parallels there, and I think everyone has trials and tribulations for sure. But I think he has done a good job of somewhat just a good job communicating with us and how he feels about certain things and just his perspective, the mental part of it as well. That's been impactful so far.
We can also talk about how hungry this class is that you're in, the senior class. Can you talk a little bit more about that this past offseason, just the hunger, the way the season ended last year too soon?
Yeah, absolutely. Our season ended early. That was the earliest it's been for since I've been here, since before I even got here, right? So it was a sour taste in our mouth for a lot of December and into January, and I know a lot of guys were able to go home and invest in relationships with their families, but they also got after it from right then, right when they got to go home for that break, and it was shown right when we got back. I think Coach Heron did a great job of really progressing, who we are as an outfit here, and I definitely just have to echo that. As I definitely do feel a hunger of this team and going out there for spring ball. It's just continuing. We're going into week 3 here, so obviously we got to keep that thing rolling. So
Being a returning captain with Danny and Brody, what's that level of leadership look like this offseason?
yeah, I think it's just an energy level that's it's pretty special to have guys that are returning captains. It's quite often that it's typically just seniors, and to some extent it's because these guys they're really on their last straw. They don't have anything else after that. But it was for sure a blessing to have a couple of the guys returning for obviously their senior year and being captains and just being able to be vocal and lead because they've seen what it looks like to be successful, and they've also seen what it looks like to go home early in December. So we can kind of wade through that, and we get to progress and we get to learn just along with everyone else with that process of being that leader.
Going into your senior year, what's an area of focus that you've been really trying to improve on this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that I've been able to invest in just with my own game, but I think the biggest thing for this year is just everyone else around me. I think that it's really easy to just be focused on yourself and be focused on typically problems with yourself, right? And so I think that certainly there's solutions to those problems that I'm trying to work on, but I think overall, I mean, it's just that intrinsic motivation of just loving the guys around you and just giving everything for those guys, because ultimately this program's going to go on after I leave this place, and just how are you going to leave? Are you going to leave it a better place than like you found it? Are you going to leave it a better place than where you were last year? So I think that's my biggest focus this year, is just really investing into this team and making sure that once that final second drops for my senior year, is that this team's in a great place, whatever that might look like.
What's the story behind the hair?
No, I just felt like growing it out a little bit. I got it cut, I think in December, and just haven't decided to get it cut yet. So, seeing how we're rolling.
You've worked so closely with Sean the last couple of years. What have been the biggest differences you've noticed, I guess, with having him as the quarterback?
Sean, Chambers, yeah, okay. I didn't know if you meant Heron. I get you. Quarterback, everyone was like, no, but yeah, Sean's been great. He's able to come back this week for pro day, and I'm really excited to see how he performs. He's someone that was obviously influential to me throughout my career, and when he got here in my second season. So it's been great to see him back here. But I don't know. I think again, it's just as he did. He invested in the guys around him and made it about the team, and I think I learned a lot from that. So that's kind of what my focus is for the senior year.
Kind of a follow-up to that, has there been like a transition for you being that sole leader at the quarterback position thus far? Has there been a transition without him?
No, I don't think it's much of a transition. I think we both led, really, really well, and I don't think that it was like a substitute from one another. I think, we were kind of two separate, independent entities, as leaders on this team. So I don't think that, like, necessarily that, like, once he left, like, I had to find a different gear with that stuff. But again, we're kind of feeling stuff out too. It's the first time that I've been in this position, so I got to learn just along with everybody else with that process.
There's a huge group of seniors, you guys in your last run. What's it like to have kind of, is it 23, I guess, of you guys? Just a huge group compared to last year. What's that like?
It's a blessing for sure. A lot of these guys, I came in with. A lot of these guys I knew because they, got here in 2019 and they're seniors now. But I knew from high school, and so a lot of those Montana guys, right? So it's just been a blessing to be with these guys for so many years and get to know them. And certainly they're just very invested in this program. Sticking through, obviously ups and downs at this point, and just like I said, they've seen both sides of it, and so I think we're doing the right things that we can set ourselves up for success.
It's been short, obviously, but Rohan's obviously got some big size, trying to replace Braden and Derek. So what is it like working with him so far?
Yeah, Rohan's got some great energy. It's been great for him to be over here. He got here early in the winter, right away, and he made an impression on everybody with just his ability and his diligence and consistency and work ethic. All those pieces were shown for January, February, and now through March into spring ball. Was continuing that, but just his energy out there at practice is just contagious, and I think that he's had a very good start so far.
Sorry, this has been asked already, but the final game, how much kind of motivation does that give you, especially individually and as a team, considering you exited that game with an injury and it was obviously very close at the end?
Yeah, I don't think that I'd necessarily just look at one game. I think the entire season last year was just motivating. I think we had very high expectations, and I think that, to some extent we weren't able to handle that very well. And so I'm just very excited to have an opportunity to come back and learn from that and be a better team this year.
Playing as well as you did in that last game, does that give you confidence going into the season, or do you give you extra confidence there?
Yeah, I think that it's just that ability to find solutions in whatever is thrown your way, and that self-efficacy. And I don't think that necessarily changes from game to game depending on what happened previously, because I suppose there's also bad games, and if you always just let what happened in the prior game dictate how you're going to feel in the future, it's just tough. But it certainly does. It felt like it was unfortunate that we weren't able to finish that game the right way. But I don't think that necessarily just because of the last game, I played really well, that I know I'm going to play well in the future, regardless if it was a bad game or a good game. So, yeah.
You just mentioned, time flies. This is your fourth winner here. Just what does Montana State mean to you as you enter into kind of this final run?
Yeah, it's been emotional. Just being able to realize at the end of that last, winter period, our last, winter workout, you really do build a lot of relationships and see, guys really laying it down on the line for you in difficult situations. And so, that last winter workout was for sure emotional, just realizing that, that's the last one. And it's a great opportunity to just kind of count your blessings and see where you're at and see where your feet are at right now. And obviously take it one step at a time, because there's not very many left for me. So it's exciting.